now before I forget to. I'm so grateful that you're mine. We both wear our share of scars. If some say they truly never heal, that's what keeps it real. Cares behind and live a little. You've seen my light on after midnight. You've heard me stir at break of day. Well, I look back someday in hindsight to say I worked my life away. If our days are heaven sent, if heaven truly can be found, can we find it now? Hey, forget about our yesterdays. Tonight we're gonna leave all those cares behind and live a little. My love, just look at all the stars above, because they're burning on the last light they got just to see if we can live a little. Truly can be found, can we find it now? Let's just find it now. Hey, forget about our yesterdays, 'cause tonight we're gonna leave all those cares behind and live a little. My love, oh, look at all the stars above, because they're burning off the last light they've got just to see if this love was all it's promised to be. Baby, this is our time to shine. Why don't we live a little? Thank you.
Yeah, Jacob Moon. Hey, that guy's good. Oh man, Jacob.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
It's so nice to play with you, Mike. This is
All
a first.
right.
This is a first for me.
Yeah, well, me too. Hey,
Yeah.
I'm having fun trying to follow what you're doing there.
Oh man, it's beautiful.
Okay, I gotta say, Jacob, you know, he's been around forever. Well, not as long as me or anything, but he's been around the town for a good quarter century, and I figure that qualified him to be on Hamilton Originals, even though he originally came from Kitchener-Waterloo.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. First bunch of years were in Kitchener, but if you forgive me for that, yeah.
No.
It was,
That's good. We're
it was, it was a good place to be from. I mean, it was a little straight-laced, a little bit kind of Germanic, and kind of a little bit,
I don't know. It was an interesting place to be from. But coming to Hamilton, it was a lot more, the music, as soon as I got here, I noticed the music was just very different. Very earthy, very gritty. You know, you got your Daniel Lanois, your Tom Wilsons, people like that kind of bring that swampy kind of vibe to music. And so it kind of loosened this kind of Laurier grad up a little bit to come to Hamilton, I have to say.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yes, a Laurier grad. So you went to university, learned about music, and it paid off, I think. Look at.
Well, you know, it's funny though. I went for classical music, and so I don't really use much of that. But what it did was it's kind of scared me to death. You know, because it was like.
Me too.
Yeah, music can be a scary thing, but when you're playing, in front of people who are masters at their craft, and you feel like this kind of kid who's just still really learning, it was intimidating. But I figured I follow the fear, go wherever it's scariest. Every time I drove by the university, I just got this sick feeling in my stomach, like I was going to throw up. So I just kind of followed that all the way through 4 years of tense kind of music learning, and then after that, I think I went right into being a very poor independent musician,
Yeah.
So.
And you still are. No,
yeah.
Exactly.
No. Exactly.
Like Wendell Ferguson says, in my career, I've made hundreds of dollars.
That's right.
Yeah, music.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, there's a picture of you. Is that you, like in university?
Yes, that
maybe?
is me. Exactly.
Look at the guy.
Yeah.
You look about the same.
Well, I was thin as a rail then. I really didn't eat much. Like I say, it was a tough first year of being an independent musician. It was a lot of macaroni and cheese and toast and butter. But I eventually that was me. I think I was at a church right here in Westdale, actually. The Baptist church down the street. I was standing in front of that one there.
All right, good.
Yeah.
We like churches.
Yeah.
So you moved here in '95, and then you did an album. Was that? I think that was with Mike Berthelmer. You did Among the Thieves.
Yeah.
Was that your first album?
First album, really. I mean, the first album that I admit to.
Okay.
I have an album before that, but we don't talk about that album.
No, hey. And don't buy it.
No, good luck getting a hold of it. I think I bought all the copies up. So.
But there it is, Among the Thieves. That's Jacob there, and you did that with an old pal of both of ours, Mike Berthelmer.
Yeah, how do you know Mike?
Look at him there.
There he is.
I know Mike because he recorded at Grand Avenue when I worked there a lot.
Nice.
I mean, I worked there a lot, but he recorded there a lot. But and his older brother Bob was a carpet cleaner, and he cleaned the carpets at Grand Avenue.
Yeah.
And I think that's how Mike got in there.
Right.
But
right.
I don't know.
Riding on the coattails of the carpet cleaner. Yeah.
But what a great guy and a great music producer. So he did Among the Thieves, which would be where this next song was on that record.
Yeah, this is before I was really touring a lot, but I sort of had kind of like a lot of my songs, they sort of are about something that I haven't done yet or experienced yet, but they're sort of almost prophetic in that way. And so this is a song about going away and having to say goodbye a lot. And I think I was listening to a lot of Daniel Lanois when I wrote this song. So
Could be trouble.
could be trouble.
Got my big guitar here now. Okay.
Return, but who knows when? Who knows what life will bring? I may not see your face again, so look at me, my everything. It's what I have to do. For now we dream. darkness. There's no one there. I leave for this, for cities with their wants and ways, for faces grave fear. I walk out of a brighter place every time I leave you here. There is no canyon wide enough, no ocean deep enough. From the lowlands to the stars above, will nothing here contain this love? You wave at me to stop the car. One more before I go. I'm walking out to where you are. One foot inside, out the door. So now I leave for lost horizons. Still I believe, but our time will come. I will return, but who knows when? Who knows what life will bring? I may not see your face again, so look at me, my everything.
Even. Nice. Yeah, Mike Perthelmer did that, eh?
Yeah, Mike Thelma, I love that guy. He was great. He's sort of like he's like the Groucho Marx of the Lock Street neighborhood. You know what I mean? He's
And he looks like Groucho
a little bit, but he's also got all those jokes, those old timey jokes, and I couldn't get enough of them.
Like I wouldn't want to be a member of any club that would have me as a member.
Yeah, exactly.
That guy.
Yeah, that kind of thing. That's Woody Allen, I think. Yeah.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
I thought that. Okay.
Yeah. Maybe it was Groucho. Maybe he got it from Groucho. Knowing him, he did. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Nice save. Okay. Moving right along here, people. Well, let's bring up the next picture. We've got a picture of Glenn Marshall and Bob Lanois.
Yeah.
God, I love those two guys.
Yeah.
Bob and I go back to like we were little kids, and he was working at the department store in Ancaster selling records. my sister bought Frank Zappa's first record, Freak Out, just because of the cover. And Bob sold it to her. It was a bad
Bless
influence.
his heart. Bless his heart, though. I love that guy. You know, he's just
Oh, yeah.
it was awesome. He did the photography for a record that I made called Landing, which Glenn produced, and we did it over 3 nights. Because by the 3rd night I might actually get it right, kind of thing. And we did it in front of a live audience at Catherine North Recording Studio. Was anybody at that recording session? Oh, really? Bless your heart. Thank you.
Hey, bless your heart.
Yeah. So that was a special moment for me. It was kind of a bit of a, I don't know. It was kind of, I was kind of coming into the scene maybe for the first time with that record. So yeah.
The early 2000s, was it?
Yeah, 2002. Yeah.
Okay.
There was a record before that called "The Will I Left Behind," which I made in Toronto, partly at Catherine North Recording Studio too. But yeah, this was fun. It was just to get to play live, because I was playing a lot of shows, and I thought, well, I love live albums. Actually, I like hearing applause in between songs and people making random sounds in the middle of songs. It just I don't know, it does something for me. So not everyone likes it. I realized after starting to sell the album, I realized that some of my fans were like, "Yeah, we like your studio album, but all the clapping and stuff, it drives them crazy." So.
Yeah.
Yeah, which reminded me actually of just an off-topic story, but I went to see Keith Jarrett at Carnegie Hall a number of years ago, and Keith hadn't played for a long time, and me and my friend Mike Jansen, great piano player, he and I went down to New York City to see him, and everyone was very, dressed to the nines out at Carnegie Hall, and ladies with their pearls and guys in their suits kind of thing, and so everyone was being very polite, I think, also because they didn't want to get yelled at by Keith Jarrett, who was known to get furious with audiences if they coughed or made any noises at all during his concerts.
No coughing.
And no coughing, yeah, exactly. So everyone was on their best behavior, and then he finished the show, and then me and Mike just looked at each other, okay, now, and we just lost it. We went berserk and just made like the loudest sound you've ever heard, just like animalistic, like sort of screaming. And people looked at us at first, but then they started kind of catching very quickly around, because everyone felt the same way about Keith Jarrett. We loved him, and so, but we brought him out for 5 encores, which has never happened that I know of at a Keith Jarrett concert. And it just reminded me that the audience actually has, and this is something for you guys to remember tonight, you have the ability to change the show.
That's right.
If you want a better show, lose your mind and just go crazy, all right? Yeah. It was so cheap.
Oh,
sorry about that. Yeah.
That's so true,
Yeah.
eh? Nothing like a great audience, and nothing worse than a bad audience.
Yeah, well,
it hurts.
Yeah.
But let's talk
You guys
about
are
a
great
few of
artists.
your albums that happened during that time. We had Landing.
Yeah.
We're bringing up a photo of that, Landing. Now, that was done at Catherine North.
Yep. And then the next one was too, actually. Yeah.
Eventide, the next. Oh, that's another shot of Landing. I think you're playing somewhere.
Under the disco ball. Yeah, exactly.
Beneath the disco. Okay, and then it went to Eventide.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, and that was kind of a part covers, part originals kind of collection.
Yeah.
You know.
Yes. You folks should know. Well, I'm sure you're all fans and you know, but Jacob does some great cover songs. Like, he's done so many great songs. Like, I love his originals almost more, but the covers are great too. So good to hear. Then you did a Christmas album.
Yeah, I did a Christmas album and a live album in the same year, actually.
That's
so,
right.
Yeah, so that was kind of I put this sort of 10-year plan together, and I thought I was going to make 2 albums a year for 10 years. It didn't quite work out that way, but it got me started with 2 albums in 2007.
And theoretically, you'd make twice as much money if you made 2.
Yeah, maybe. So people-
$200 instead of.
Yeah, that's right, instead of $100.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
So then the
moving
loop came
right
out.
along.
Yeah, the loop came out, and then it was like that was me just playing a bunch of shows all over Canada and recording it. I got Mike Barthelmer to come out and help me record them, and it was kind of a collection of originals and some covers, including a cover of "Subdivisions" by Rush, which is
Subdivisions
a favorite of
by-
mine.
Yeah, that's a
Yes.
famous one.
Yeah,
There's Neil there.
yeah.
Yeah,
Rest his soul.
banging away.
And so there was just a thing where I'd been to one of their shows, their 30th anniversary concert, and it just occurred to me that they have these great songs. They're not all 20-minute opuses. Some of them are just like great little songs, you know. And I was always told if it's a great song, you should be able to play it just you and your acoustic guitar. So I went home and tried to do that, you know. But it's like, you know, it's like trying to make like Sprite out of lemon and lime or something. You know what I mean? There's more to it, you know. So I kind of worked on it for a while, for maybe like a year and a half, I think. And my wife was like, "Are you still working on that song?" You know, it's like,
Yeah, give it up.
yeah, right. And I got married right around that time too. And so it was like, so she was like, "When are you gonna be done with that cover?" And so I finally went out and performed it live. And then shortly after that, we actually taped me playing it on a rooftop. And then we made a YouTube video out of it, and it went sort of Canadian viral. It was seen by hundreds of people, you know. And then the guys from Rush found out about it, and they sent me a nice email. They said, "Well, you know, we've seen the video. Great job, way to go. Keep up the good work, young man." You know, I think it was the basic tenor of the email. And I thought, well, I can die now. You know, my heroes have sent me an email. It's pretty phenomenal. And I thought that's where it would stop, but their management got in touch with me, and they called me on the phone actually. And at first I thought it was them, you know, calling to sue me, you know, for using their song without asking first. But they wanted to. What's that?
Or it could have been a prank from one of your friends.
Well,
pretending.
easily. That's the sort of thing that some of my friends are known for. So, but no, this was the real deal. And they said, "Would you come and perform?" Subdivisions at the Canadian Songwriters Hall of Fame Gala in Toronto, and the guys will all be there, and you can play your song for them. And I'm like, let me check my schedule, you know, and get back to you, you know. But of course, no, I did it, and it was just an out-of-body experience, just getting to play for those guys. I'm told it went well, but I don't know because I don't feel like I was really there. So
we're coming back to them in a minute too, because that actually happened a bit later, I think, when it went.
Well, it did
big.
happen a little bit later. Yeah, it happened in 2010. That's right. If we're going to go strictly chronologically, I just saw the Rush slide there. I thought that was my cue to tell the Rush story there. So
I like it. Okay. But that brings us to
That's true. Yeah.
Thank you, Jordana. Maybe Sunshine. The next album.
Yeah.
There's even a picture. The next picture is of you holding that record. Sorry, CD.
Yeah, that was when it just came out, and I was into hats for about 2 days there. So yeah. But yeah, that was a fun record. It was just kind of an EP of original songs, and including a song called Sarah, which we're gonna try. We haven't practiced this, but we're gonna try. We're gonna try to bomb through this one. Do you want to do that one first?
If you don't mind.
Oh, I can totally do that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And then we'll.
It's your show. I'm just playing at it. You know.
Oh,
come on.
Really?
But no, it's for sure. Yeah, this is a song that's also on Maybe Sunshine. It's a kind of an ode to my prog rock heroes, I suppose, in some ways. Yeah, because I love songwriters. I love James Taylor. I love Joni Mitchell. Jackson Brown. Man, I love Jackson Brown. He's the greatest. But I love you know, Yes and Marillion and Rush and Pink Floyd and Genesis and Peter Gabriel and all that stuff too. So this is kind of a bit of a nod to those guys. This is called The Great Beyond.
Of the universe, looking down, now you get it, feel the spin in your head. It's like an insane urge to jump out of this skin, to jump out of this skin. When you fall, would you feel it all? Would your feet touch the ground? Would your soul take flight like you waited all your life to be outward bound? See what no one sees, touch the mystery. Can you see me now? Growing smaller in your window, 'cause something deep inside me leads me on. to heaven that I never had an explanation for. Because everything that is points to more than this. How can you hear me now? I've been following the whisper that calls my name. I know that it's leading me on, but where my own reflection is gone into the great beyond. Everything that is points to more than this. Everything that is. How can you see me now? 'Cause I've been following the whisper that calls my name. I know that it's leading me on, where my own reflection's gone into the great beyond, to the great beyond. Again, thanks a lot.
All right. Nice. Hey, that was rocking. The Great Beyond.
Yes.
Very nice.
Where's the dry ice? I was told to be dry ice right
Yeah,
at this point of the
sorry.
show.
Neil, we got to get dry ice
Not sure
next
what's going
time.
on here. The
Jeez.
lasers are supposed to be here. It was
Yeah,
the whole
geez.
thing.
Just, boy. Okay, well, that was from maybe Sunshine.
Yeah.
And that would bring us to the story of Sarah that you were starting into, which
Oh yeah.
I love that story.
Well, thanks, man. Sarah, really, this whole album is kind of a song cycle in some ways on travel and on children. My wife and I, at the time, 2009, we had kind of been through a bit of a journey of waiting to kind of hear good news from the doctor about whether we'd be able to have kids or not, and we got bad news, and so shortly after that, we went on this trip to El Salvador. And it was to meet our sponsor child, a little girl named Sarah, who was 8 years old at the time, and we just we were told we'd get to spend a whole day just kind of hanging out with her, and it was amazing. That whole trip was incredible. It just kind of really opened our eyes to how other people live, and that even though we were going through some real grief, that people are really going through daily struggles for survival, in a place like El Salvador, and so we got off the bus, and right away, Sarah came over to greet us and embrace us, and her mom was there, and there was a translator there, and we just had this joyous day. I was getting to hang out with Sarah for a whole day, and this kind of light bulb went on for me that maybe this was an indication that we were supposed to, become adoptive parents, and not to adopt Sarah, but to adopt a child in Hamilton where we live, and so it was right around that time we came home. We started the search for a social worker. We found one in Dundas. She talked us through the process. It was a lot of forms and interviews, and they make you take a course to learn how to become parents.
That's good for you.
It is good for you. But I'm told, not many other people have had to take a course to learn how to become parents.
And it's so important, isn't it?
I learned a lot. I learned so much.
We got no training.
No training. They just give you the baby and you kind of go home. That's kind of how it usually works at the hospital. But for us, we knew there was more involved, in some ways with an adopted child. And so, we really had no idea at the time how much was involved. But we started the process, and 9 months later, unbelievably, we get this phone call from the adoption worker at CAS, and they said, well, there's a little boy who was born to a teenage mom, and would you like to go and meet this little fella? And we the next day, there we were up on the mountain at this foster family's home, and there he was in the picture window, waving at us as we walked up the driveway, and the door opens, and this little hand grabs mine and pulls me, across the threshold, and we met the foster family, a wonderful couple that had been just loving him since birth, and he'd been apprehended at birth and was there. His mom wasn't able to take care of him, so there he was, and there his brother was, actually. He was also we didn't know he had a brother, but his brother was in a little crib in the corner, and they said, oh, how do you feel about a sibling group? I'm like, all right, this is moving fast, we didn't even know this was happening. We were just going to see, if this was a match kind of thing. And so, anyways, I'm in there for like maybe 5 minutes playing with Fisher-Price toys on the ground with the older boy, and I look up and I see my name on their television screen, which was kind of weird, because I just met these people like 5 minutes ago. And so I said, like, what? What's my name doing on your TV screen? And they say, well, we were listening to the satellite radio, so they must be, playing one of your songs. They said, well, I said must be because they have the sound all the way down on the TV. So, and I tried not to take it personally, I said, maybe just turn up the volume there. I just want to see, what song that is. And at that moment, they turn up the volume, and it's the song that I wrote for my wife about waiting for children, called "End of the Road." And that was our sign. We all got like chills in the room at that point. We're just like, okay, okay, we're in the right place at the right time. This is what was supposed to happen. So we made some decisions that day that we would adopt this boy. We would name him Gabriel. We would bring him home in the next couple of weeks. We would hope and pray that his brother would be able to join him someday. He was a year and a half younger. And about a year and a half later, after bringing Gabriel home, Simon came home. Then we learned they had a sister as well. I was like, how far is this going exactly?
Yeah.
I was just
Are there more?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm an independent singer-songwriter, so it's we can't do like 19 kids and counting, or anything like that. But we said, of course, if there's a way that we can bring her into the fold, then it would be amazing. It would be phenomenal. And so about 3.5 years later, or as my wife calls it, like the longest pregnancy ever, because that's what it felt, to be pregnant waiting for this news. And so she finally came home in 2013, or was it 14, something like that. And then, we got the 3, Gabriel, Simon, and Amelia ever since. Crazy. All from Sarah. Yeah.
All through Sarah. Let's play him that song.
Okay. All right.
Sarah.
what it meant. Oh, well, Sarah, little did you know that your little smile was so heaven sent. Well, there were tears here falling like the rain upon a dry ground, just like a sleeping baby makes no sound. We were in the darkness with our heads down. It's been there all along. Sarah, you came along like a dream when our dream was gone. Well, Sarah, boy, you came along. I had music for my song, but no words. Oh, but Sarah made it come alive with the sweetest voice that I've ever heard. That a day makes every time I see that picture of your face. I don't know what the future holds. Ain't got no crystal ball. Maybe sunshine, maybe hard times. We'll never know it all. Maybe the sign you could not see. It's been there all along. Sarah, you came along like a dream when our dream was gone. There were tears here falling like the rain upon a dry ground, just like a sleeping baby makes no sound. We were in the darkness with our heads down. With every year that's passing by, we're drifting further from the shore. Do we wait it out? Should we bail out? Oh, we don't know anymore. All I know is now I see the right and all that's wrong. Sarah, you came along like a dream when it felt like our hearts might be coming apart at the seams. Sarah, Sarah, you came along like a dream. Let me dream on, dream on, dream on, dream on, yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
What a story, eh? Shit, I love that. I love that. Oh, I almost heard a ball in there. Sarah. Now, before we go on, I know we're getting a little late here, but we got to talk a little bit about looping.
Okay.
I told the people, you know, in my promo there that you were the looping master, more so than Jamie Oakes.
I don't know about
Yeah,
no.
that's
He's
you.
the one who introduced it to me, actually.
Okay.
And so all credit to Jamie there. And Jamie's a wizard. He's just crazy. He's so
No,
good.
he is. I was just kidding.
Same.
Jamie, I hope he's not watching.
Yeah.
I was just kidding.
No, I sort of, but I think I get more technical about it maybe than some people do, because I sort of wouldn't accept this idea that playing solo meant that you had to sacrifice all of the ideas that you came up with in the studio. You know, even if it was other people's ideas, sometimes like the bass line or the drum part or the lead guitar or whatever it was. I just like the idea that you could give all of that to the audience, you know, in some form. But it meant walking a bit of a high wire because, you know, as you know, like with looping.
Technology.
Well, it's yeah, exactly. Tonight we had all kinds of trouble with the technology, but But it can really make you look stupid, basically. It's kind of what it's there for, it's that's why I always tell people when they get into looping, I'm like, it's the first 3 messages it has for you is like, your ideas are not worth recording, your timing is terrible, and you need to practice. Those are the 3 messages you get first before anything else happens, and it's like, it's humbling, you know what I mean, frankly. So I was just but it was a puzzle too, and I think music sometimes is an interesting puzzle to kind of work out, you know what I mean? I enjoy trying to mess with it and try to put it together. So sometimes I'm not very technical, actually. People think I am, but I barely know how to plug this in and get it going.
Look at all that
But
stuff.
it's a lot, right? It's like, other people kind of come and fix it for me when it doesn't work. So, and I just know how to kind of work the pedals so that it sort of does my bidding, essentially, right? So it's like having a band without having to pay them, essentially.
Yeah, nice. I like that.
So,
can you give us an example? Like, play us a bit of something and loop it.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I mean, if I'm playing,
And
yeah, I mean, if I'm.
see, it's like a whole band without paying them.
That kind of thing. I don't know.
Whoa.
Just,
Yeah, hey, the looper. The only bad thing about that is I can go home now. I mean, yeah.
No.
Like,
That's why I'm still interested in playing with humans, because it's
Humans,
It's,
yeah.
it's so much.
but that's kind of human.
It's much more fun, Well, it's still me. Like, it's still whatever this
Yeah.
is doing. It's just I just did it, and then recorded it, kind of thing. That's the idea, anyways.
I love it. All right, that brings us to the next couple of albums we're going to
Yeah.
show you quickly. We got Landing 2.
Landing 2, the landing. Yes, exactly. We came back 10 years later, just really so that I could hang out with Glenn Marshall some more, because I just love that guy. So
Yeah.
So
Good
we hung out some more and we made this record, and I rearranged all my songs from the first one, and it was my way of seeing if I could do it a little better. Because when I did Landing 1, I think I was a younger musician, and I had done a bunch of playing in those 10 years. And the perfectionist in me wanted to kind of take another crack at it, very frankly. So, and it was also a chance to bring some people back who'd seen the first one, and it was really just a document for them and for me. And so it's out there. It's kind of fun.
10th anniversary.
Yeah.
Followed by Fascination.
Yeah, Fascination was a collection of mostly covers by all my heroes like Radiohead, Peter Gabriel, Rush, Yes, Tom Waits. That's my son there with a piggy bank.
Well, I was going to
Talking
ask.
to Mike at Records on Wheels. That's Mike at Records on Wheels in Dundas. He let me take some pictures there, which is pretty cool. Yeah.
Isn't that cute? You see the piggy bank under his arm.
Yeah,
of
and he's
course.
buying a stack of vinyl. You can see that.
I
there.
mean, we were there, weren't we? I was
Right.
that kid.
I was that kid. That's why he's on the front cover. Yeah, exactly. So that's what that's all about. And then a couple of originals came out of that as well. Revelation and Is That All You Got came out of that experience of making Fascination. And I toured with that all across Europe, opening up for Marillion, which is a band that I cover on that album. So it was kind of this perfect synchronicity of things. The band that I listened to most when I was a 15, 16-year-old kid asked me to open for them on their European tour. And it was just like, this was crazy. So it was
That's
just
good.
bananas. Yeah.
Hey, that's so good. And that one, wasn't that where you did something for Rush again, or you redid Subdivision?
Well, what happened was, I just redid Subdivisions on the 2013 one. Yeah, exactly. And then later, I was able to, and there's me meeting the guys backstage at the Hall of Fame. Yeah, they were all so warm and nice. And Neil came over and talked to me. Neil usually gets on a motorcycle and drives away at the end of every Rush show. And so he didn't do that. He stayed and talked to me, and he said, thanks for doing Subdivisions kind of like a singer-songwriter song, because that's how he imagined it when he wrote the lyrics to it. He says, but like we're Rush, so we do everything, big and bombastic kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it's like, that's kind of how he heard it in his head. So it was just, I had no idea, of course, that was true. And so it was just gratifying to hear that. And Alex wrote, I love you on my hand. And I didn't wash it for a couple of weeks. It was exciting. Yeah. So
I
it was
remember
fun.
that, but it was with a girl. But anyway.
Yeah. No. All right. Tell me
yeah.
that story. That's good. That sounds good.
But wait, whoa. And so you also recorded on their record, didn't you?
Well, they I don't know how much they had to do with it, but the record company wanted to release a 2112 reissue. And they asked Foo Fighters and Alice in Chains and different bands to kind of contribute a cover song from that album. And they called me up and said, would you do Something for Nothing? This song, I don't think they were asking me to do it for no remuneration, but they wanted to know if I would do this song. And I said, yeah, absolutely. And then I got off the phone. I was like, what's Something for Nothing? I didn't know this song. You know what I mean? Like I don't know why. I never really listened to a lot of 2112. I was kind of like, you know, their later stuff, their 80s stuff or whatever, right? So anyways, I had to go and figure that out after I'd said yes to it. And I covered it and came out later that year in 2016. That's me playing for Rush. You can see Geddy and
You
me.
can see him there. Look
Alex, yeah, and they're just sitting under this it's pouring rain, and we're at the Lee Lifeson Art Park in Toronto, and they asked me to come and play Subdivisions again for them, and so, yeah, I wasn't all in black and white. I did have some color to my face, but it's just
You must have been terrified
treatment.
just playing in front of those.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I sort of dissociate,
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean?
It's
I
like,
kind of, I
don't
can't
look at
look at them. I can't talk to them until after. And then, you know, they're very warm about it. And I had 3 gigs that day. I had that gig, another gig at a wedding, and then another gig for a private thing in the evening. So I couldn't even stick around for them to get the key to the city and all that stuff. So
To write on your hand and stuff.
yeah, exactly.
And that brought out the compilation album, 20 Years.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, 20 Years came out later that year, just because I wanted to kind of, I don't know, put a collection together. I had a few new songs. I had a song called Love of Mine for my wife, who'd kind of just gone through cancer a couple years before that, and a song called Ribbon of Darkness, which is a Gordon Lightfoot song, because I got to play for Gordon Lightfoot when he did his anniversary of Sundown kind of thing. So that was gratifying to get to do that and put all these songs that I'd kind of been floating around on people's CD changers for years and to put on one collection. So there you go.
Nice.
Yeah.
And that takes us to a completely different project, the Commissionaires.
Yeah. Well, that was a band that I don't know how many people are familiar with my band, the Commissionaires, but we're sort of on hiatus right now. But I love playing in that band, and Joel is one of the greatest musicians alive, as far as I'm concerned, and he's my partner in crime with this one. It's he sings kind of half the tunes, I sing half the tunes. He plays keys. He's got this gigantic, soulful voice, and he's really, really good at all that up-tempo kind of dancey stuff, but he's really versatile and able to do the kind of more folky stuff that I do. So we released this record called Shelter Me. Very quickly, I kind of had like a phone conversation with him, and then we met for coffee, and I said, Joel, would you join a band of mine and just pick 8 songs, record them real quick, put it out there. We don't have time to write them, so they're going to be somebing else, somebody else's songs. So we picked songs by Stevie Wonder, Ben Harper, Johnny Lang, all these different artists, some traditional stuff. And it all kind of had this theme of kind of redemption, and the world was in a bit of turmoil in 2016. I don't know if you remember that.
Not like today.
No, yeah, nothing like today. Yeah, exactly. But it was a time that just really felt like these were the songs that the world needed to hear, again. So
Nice. Well, I think we need some more of those right now.
yeah.
And that brought out your latest, most recent album, Under the Setting Sun.
Yeah, that's basically brand new. It just came out literally a couple of weeks ago. So in a physical form, and it'll come out digitally in April, April 2nd, when I play at the Gasworks right here in town. I'll do a whole show of that, play the whole record, and play a bunch of older stuff. So if people are here tonight and they want to catch another show, it's Saturday night instead of Monday night, which is kind of fun. So I'll be playing all that stuff. But this was an important record, for me, because it's my pandemic record, I guess you could say.
Right. It was a dark time, wasn't it?
Well, it was.
The pandemic for all musicians.
How many musicians we got in the house here today? Put up your hand if you're a musician. Raise that hand. Yeah.
All right.
Just proudly. Exactly. Well, it's you know what it was, right? I mean, if you're a musician that makes your living from playing live, it was just a weird time because you had to basically live stream constantly, to varying degrees of success, and it's alienating in some ways to not have an audience to sing for in a physical way, and you feel like you're kind of just you're just putting stuff out there and it's just getting carried away into the ether and it's never to be seen again. It's so ephemeral, the live stream experience. People don't go back usually and watch old live streams. It's like watching old newscasts or something, So it felt weird, but it felt like it was the record that kind of saved my career. Because
you almost packed it in, I think, didn't you?
Well, yeah. I had to kind of have a conversation with myself and with my mentors and just say, like, are we still doing this?
Yeah.
Spending like 10 grand on an independent or all original CD, in 2021, it didn't feel like the right thing to do. It just felt like it was going to go nowhere with a bullet, I didn't have any like 15-second songs that I could put on TikTok or whatever, you know what I mean? Like this is like an album, this is like you got to listen to it,
Yeah.
You can't just put it on in the background, right? So it was just a weird time to be a musician, right? And I don't really know. I feel like I'm still kind of in a dark corridor, and I don't know where the light is at the end as far as the career goes. I still feel like that way. But the record kind of saved me creatively because it got me making music in a room again with musicians. And I just got on a plane, went to Winnipeg, where my friend Murray Pulver, the producer, put together a crack team of musicians to interpret these songs. And I just kind of threw myself at his, mercy and said, help me, out of my own despair about this process. And he carried me through that first little bit. And then I got back on my feet and I was like, oh yeah, I feel the motor memory returning, and,
Nice.
And it just all came back to me and it was great. So this is a song I wrote on the plane when I was going to Winnipeg. And when I landed, I played it for Murray and we recorded it that day. So.
Turn around and everything was changed. You always told me nothing stays the same. No one prepares you for the flood. The waves overtake you. You're only flesh and blood. And when the waters rise, we'll make for higher ground. Only to see the devastation all around. I wish I could relive those days before all our dreams were swept away. 'Cause I just need a little more time. Maybe there's a master plan. Maybe if I pray then I'll understand. Do I just need a little more time? Remember where I was when I heard the news, playing the tables, trying not to lose. Well, everybody lives like they'll never die. Well, you were invincible, baby, so was I. Sooner or later, all bravado fades away. All I can do is hope to fight another day. Know we're getting near the end, but can we carry on and just pretend? 'Cause I just need a little more time. still the motorcade is gone. But I just need a little more time. As the evening sun is set, I still hear the last thing that you said.
Yeah, a little more
Thank you.
time. Well, heck, we're out of time, I think. You know,
Yeah.
speaking of which,
right.
we got to bring this to a close. Okay, so, heck, that was a lot of fun, though, you know. Like,
Thank you, Mike, for having me. I really
well.
appreciate it. You could get all kinds of people from Hamilton to be on the show, and you picked me. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Oh, well, I love you. I love you. Okay, we're going to do one more song, but before we get to it, I just got to say thank you to everyone who's helped put this together, because it's not just me and Jacob, believe me. We got like a big crew out back there. We've got, first of all, the executive director of the Westdale Theater, Neil. Neil Miller is my partner in crime. Neil, I love that guy. And back there, we got Mark and Jordana doing the online streaming stuff. Oh, he's waving back there. Norm and Jeff on the audio, James on the camera. We got a big crew here for a couple of guys. And now I'd like to thank our sponsors, Marie Phillips, who's here with Next Steps Planning. If you need planning for your financial future, you got to talk to her. Yeah, Marie Phillips. Also, Clear Cable. They're the guys who put this on, like on the internet, and they do it like at no charge for us. They've been helping us out since the pandemic. That's Clear Cable. Also want to thank, Also, Judy Marcel's Real Estate. Judy's been here for every show, I believe. Even when we were shut down, locked down, and no one was supposed to be here, Judy snuck in. She's been here, like she is the greatest music supporter in the city of Hamilton. Judy Marcel's.
Yeah.
So if you want to sell your house or buy a house, you talk to Judy. Dave Gruggan on the photography. You've seen Dave wandering around taking photos. Dave. And then the big boys who give us lots of money, the Incite Foundation for the Arts and Ontario Trillium Foundation. We love them.
Nice.
And they're giving us money, but I just want to say, folks, we're still having a tough time making ends meet here at the Westdale. You know, 3 years ago, we renovated the joint to the tune of a few $1 million, and about a year later, the pandemic shut us down. So we're looking for donations. If anyone out there in the audience, or especially you people watching TV, if you can just sign on and send us a small donation. We're hopefully trying to get some monthly donations. That would be like $5 a month or $5,000 a month, whatever you can afford. We'll take it. Next up, we've got Ginger St. James next month. Yeah, she is going to be a wild and raucous gal. It should be a fun night for Ginger. She's a rocker and a great songwriter. And that's about it for well, wait, I got to thank you guys for coming out in the flesh to the show. Thank you kindly. Especially you guys. You've been clapping real hard. I love you guys. And to all of you that are up there on the internet joining us, you know, from your living room. Thanks a lot. We'll see you all a month from now with Ginger St. James. But we're going to finish up with Jacob Moon here, doing one last song. This song is killing me. I learned it a few days ago, and I can't stop thinking about it. It's just going around. It's like one of those damn jingles. It just keeps going on and on. No, anyway.
It's by design, actually. This song is called The Song That Won't Leave You Alone.
And it won't.
And it's just about that voice in your head that keeps talking to you about to do something, and you want to ignore it, but you got to do it. And if there's a voice in your head saying you'd like a copy of the new record, then you can come and see me about that at the table afterwards.
Merch at the back, yeah.
All right. Ready?
Ready, brother.
All right.
Sort of.
in circles, talking to myself. I pace the floor behind closed doors, so nobody can tell, and nobody can hear me singing out in the middle of the night, melodies in minor keys under my fingers in black and white. What picks you up when you get down? It's a song that won't leave you alone, won't leave you alone. Just sing it out over and over till you make it your own. You're playing it all through the night till the break of dawn. It's like the song won't leave you alone, won't leave you alone, won't leave you alone. Maybe it's a reminder I still owe a debt, a sad song for all I done wrong, the tears I can't forget. Maybe I can sing it to you, get it in your head, a new verse so you could reverse things I should have said. Pick you up when you get down. It's a song that won't leave you alone, won't leave you alone. Like a dog that comes sniffing around, so you throw him a bone. And you're leaving behind just to find that he's followed you home. It's like a song won't leave you alone, won't leave you alone, won't leave you alone. Hey, come on now. And the only remedy, the only way you could set me free, is if you sing your melody. It's a song that won't leave you alone, won't leave you alone. Like the guy who leaves messages every night on your phone. He's begging you over and over, baby, please come home. Just like the song won't leave you alone, won't leave you alone, won't leave you alone. Hey! It's a song that won't leave you alone, it won't leave you alone. Baby, please, please come home. Well, yeah, leave me here on my own. Won't leave me alone. Thank you, guys.
See y'all later.
Thank you.
Jacob Moon, thanks for coming. Pray for peace. Thank you.